Okay, as I said yesterday, I'm going to share my stretching routine with you. It's about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how long you do each stretch. I try to do it 4 to 6 days a week, and in the beginning, I couldn't do them as long as I do now, and some of them don't look like they're very strenuous, but they can be, so just be careful. Don't make any quick movements, and if things start hurting, just stop. So anyway, we're going to start with a little torso twist just to get loose. I generally do 20 of these. Okay, that's 20. And then put your arms like this, and this one can be a little strenuous, and then I'm trying to twist, and I'm slowly pulling my hands away from each other and away from my body. This is to work on shoulders and sides and things like that. So I usually hold this for 8 or 10 seconds and then just switch sides. When I first started doing this one, I could hardly turn at all. So if you can't, that's not a problem. This next one, just put your hands lightly behind your head, pull your elbows out, stand straight, and try to pull your chest out and your elbows back as much as you can. Again, no quick movements. Hold that for a minute. And then just turn to the side. Again, try to pull your elbows back. Okay, now I'm going to do some neck rolls, so be careful with your neck. Go slowly. Just trying to put my ear on my shoulder, and you'll notice I'm not moving very quickly on purpose. As you do these 3 times each side. Okay, now I'm going to do a whole neck roll, so just be careful with this one. This is the one that took me kind of the longest to get to where I could do it, so just be careful and conscious of how your neck feels when you're turning it. Usually do 5 to the right. And then 5 to the left. And now I'm just going to put my hands by my side and turn my head, and I'm trying to get my chin over my shoulder. And you should feel this in down your back a little bit and your side of your neck. Again, be careful with your neck. Over here. I'm going to do some shoulder rolls. These look funny, but they're good for you. So forward 10 times. Trying to get my shoulder as far back up and forward as I can. I think that was 10. Lost count. Backwards. Again, trying to get as much movement as I can. Then this one is just a standard shoulder stretch, so just trying to pull your arm across your body. I found you can get a better stretch if you turn your head towards where you're stretching rather than looking this way. Other side. Again, I'll hold them for 8 or 10 seconds. Now I'm gonna take my elbow and I'm gonna pull it back, kind of tilt so I get a side stretch and a shoulder stretch. And I'm gonna turn around backwards here and show you what I'm doing here. So what I'm trying to do here now is I'm trying to pull my shoulder back, and I'm trying to reach as far back as I can. Again, just be careful with these. Ease into these. Do them for a few seconds if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it yet. Just do what you can. That's what I kept being told by where I got a lot of these stretches from, is do what you can, and eventually you'll be able to do what you couldn't. One of those fun cliches. So again, I'm pulling my hand down my back as best I can. Okay, and now I'm going to do some arm swings. So I'm going to take my right arm and just swing it around 10 times. And then backwards. Again, if you can't get full motion, that's fine. Just get as far as you can. For some reason, my left arm doesn't go back as far as my right. Okay, now just keep your feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to take both arms, pull them back and up. 2, 3. And backwards, same motion, just kind of, as you can see, my left arm doesn't go back as far as my right arm. Never has. Okay, now I'm going to spread my legs out a little bit, and then I'm going to turn. You probably can't see me all the way, but I'm trying to pull, keep your head facing straight, your face facing straight, point your hand and pull your side as far as you can, and be careful with your knees here. You wouldn't think it'd be messing with your knees, but it does. Same on the other side. I know you can't see me, I can see them off the camera here. You want to keep your body as straight as you can, your legs as straight as you can. So now we're going to go in this same position, and I'm going to grip up here, keep my head trying to touch my arms on my ears, and I'm going to push my hands to the ceiling. Again, keep your legs as straight as you can, and then I'm just going to pull out. You're trying to stretch your chest. I'm going to go back up. Now I'm going to do something I got from Diamond Dallas Page, DDP Yoga. I'm going to point my fingers to the sky and then make a diamond. And you'll feel it change. You'll feel that as you do this move, you'll feel the muscles change. Same pull, okay? Do this one more time, and this next time, when you do the swan, we're gonna kind of just go all the way to the ground and try to let your head and arms hang. Hope you can hear me. let your head and arms hang. So you're kind of doing a light back stretch, and just kind of relax your shoulders. Let your arms rest, and just you'll feel that pull in your lower back a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to try to get in the camera here. So I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to turn it just a little bit, and I'm going to get down here as far as I can. I try to put my hands on my heels, keep my legs straight, and I'm going to stay here for 10 seconds. Make sure you can see me here. And then do the same thing with your left. Turn your left foot out. Try to grab your heel. Again, just do what you can. Okay, now I'm going to turn my foot out again, and this time I'm going to put my fingers on the ground. Try to keep your knee over your ankle on this side. Don't go over too far. And then what I'm trying to do is stretch down here right now. You want to drop that as low as you can. I may or may not be doing my 10 seconds. I'm losing count as I'm talking. Ooh, I fell. As you can see, I'm not a trained trainer, so I fell. Anyway, again, just on this side. Now we're going to do just a kind of standard runner stretch. So I'm going to try to get in the camera more. So what I'm doing is I got my left foot out, trying to look straight. I got my right foot back, and I'm trying to press my heel to the floor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rock up. I'm going to press my right heel to the floor and try to hold my toe up for just a second. Okay. Same on the other side. Again, just trying to push your heel gently to the floor on my left leg now. Same thing here. Now back to the center here. I'm going to take my hands in a little diamond shape. I'm going to put them on the floor. I'm going to try to push my butt to the ceiling. This is stretching back here in my arms. And then tuck your head in and roll very slowly up to the top. So that's the end of one of 3 routines. So I'm going to stop the recording and then I'll go to the next one. Okay, I'm back for the second set of stretches. So go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn this way for this one. So I'm going to put my feet kind of side by side like this, and then I'm going to slowly reach down the back of my leg. I'm trying to reach my heels. When I first started this, I could get to about right here, and just kind of slowly every day I reached further and further. And so hold that for a second. Just tuck your head in. If you can, grab your toes. And then even more, my goal was to touch the floor, which took me a while, but I can touch the floor. My current goal is to put my palms on the floor, but I'm nowhere near that yet. I'm gonna do that, hold that. And then because I'm getting ready to do a quad stretch, I want to stretch my hamstrings so I don't cramp them up. So I'm gonna keep my right foot where it is. I'm gonna put this out, toe up, and I'm just gonna hold it and hold on to this and lean. You should feel this down the back of your leg. Now I'm gonna the other side. Okay, now I'm going to do a quad stretch. You can hold on to something if you need to. I did in the beginning, but one of the things I try to do is work on my balance, and this is one way to do that. It's also one way to, when you balance on one leg, you're working your core, which you may not realize. So I'm going to try not to fall over while I do this. Like I said, if you need to grab something, and you can see I'm staring off into space. One way to keep your balance is to just look at one thing. If you start looking around, you might lose your balance if you're trying to do this. Switch legs. This was the leg I had surgery on, so it's not as flexible yet. Even after a year, still not as flexible as the other one. You can see I'm shaking a little bit, and that's good. I'm trying to keep my balance. Okay, and now I'm gonna put my feet about shoulder width apart. And if you can't do this one, that's fine. I couldn't either, but my goal was to get this stretch done. And so I'm gonna bend all the way down, and I'm gonna try to touch the back of my legs to my calves. I'm just going to sit here. I know this looks very weird, but I'm just going to sit here for a second. And then I'm going to come all the way up to the top again, and then back down. Again, if you feel any pain or any pops or anything, if you don't, just stop. There's no point in hurting yourself. And then I come up here, and I usually sit in this squat position. I've gotten up to 40 seconds now, but I probably won't do that today. I'll just, in the beginning I could do about 5 or 6 seconds, and I just kept adding. I kept adding a couple of seconds a week is what I did. So anyway, I sit here for 20 seconds or so. Now all the way back up. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my hips. So I'm going to put my arms out, and I'm going to try to kick my hand and turn my body. And I can do this 20 times. That's 5, 6. I like the Rockettes. We'll all do it together. We'll be one line of Rockettes. I think that was 20. I lost count. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this one. So I'm going to kick straight out. I'm going to do this 10 on each leg. So 1, 2, 3. I try to kick my foot up as high as I can, but again, do what you can do. Okay, now I'm just going to do kickbacks. 1. So you're getting a little bit of aerobics and stretching at the same time. Again, none of this is rocket science. I've pulled this from many things I've tried over the years, and I just compiled them into the things that I like. So now I'm going to get up on my toes, and I'm going to walk up and back and try to stay on my toes. 8, 9, 10. Switch feet. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna get on my heels, and I sometimes fall on this one too. So try to keep your toes pointed up, and you'll feel this in the front of your foot and in your calf. I think that was 10. Switch the starting foot. I know I look goofy trying to keep my balance here. Okay, so almost done with this round. So what I'm gonna do now, and again, I may fall here, so if you fall, that's no problem. I'm gonna swing my foot forward and backwards on one foot. Harder than it looks. You can see I'm almost falling over. Again, trying to work balance and core at the same time. And I'm just a normal person. I'm not a instructor or fitness specialist. So, like I said, if I can do this, anybody can do this. And the good thing is, I don't have to do it in front of anybody. But now I am, I guess. Okay. Here's the last one in this round is I'm gonna do the same thing out to the side. If you can hold it out there, that's even better, but I sometimes lose my balance when I try that. 8, I think, 9. I could never do one of these things professionally because I lose count while I'm talking. Maybe they have someone counting for them, I don't know. 1. And again, I'm looking at one spot in the floor to help keep my balance. Okay, that's it for that round. Right now, here's the third of the sets of stretches that I do. I'm going to back up a little bit because I'll need more space. So I'll go off to the side so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna try to keep my back of my knees on the floor. That's kind of how I know I've kept my knees straight. And back up. And then I'm gonna reach down to my ankles, tuck my chin down on my chest. Just be loose here, don't tighten up. I'm gonna move a little bit at a time. And then I'm gonna grab my feet. If you can't, don't worry about it. I was able to get to about right here at one point. So hold that. No bouncing. There's no quick movements. And I'm gonna do this old school, put your feet together. So grab the bottom of your toes. Use your elbows to push your legs out a little bit. Just be careful doing that because you'll feel the stretch. And then pull your toes and your head together slowly. Don't go too far. Again, just do what you can. Hold that. Okay. Now, what you want to do is get your feet out as far as you can. You can see I'm going to actually move mine myself. The first thing I do is reach out, if I can, touch my toes. I'm going to push my chest out and towards the floor, and you should feel this all down in here. This is part of our legs, our hips and inside of our thighs that we don't use very often. And now I'm going to push my toes out a little bit. That'll give a little extra stretch. Okay, now I'm just gonna cup my hands like this, and I'm gonna go down kind of in a circle. Try to keep your back of your knees on the floor. I do this 5 times. Other way. Okay, so, and one of my goals is to eventually get my chest on the floor. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So what I do here is I'm going to make that diamond again, and I'm going to reach out as far as I can. So hold that for a second, and I'm going to lower that to the ground. I'm going to put my palms flat. Sit here for a second. I keep trying to go centimeters more. Been working on this for a long time. May never achieve the goal of getting my chest on the floor, but I'm gonna try. Now put your arms together like this, and I put my hands down, and I'm gonna try to get my elbows, and you can see I can't get my elbows all the way to the ground, but they're further than they used to be. Then I'm gonna end with this. So now I'm gonna try to push out as far as I can, a little bit more. Grab and push my toes out one more time. One last reach to the ground. Hold. And that's it. And then pull your legs together and kind of just bounce them out. So that's the full stretch I do every day in 3 pieces. I'll try to edit them together so they're all in one place. Hope that helps.